What's up guys, my name is Ace, and today I'm going to be sharing my experience with the maps as well as the spawns in Advanced Warfare from my 3 hours or so of gameplay time at Gamescom. Let's get into it. So at Gamescom, unfortunately, for some reason I only played Biolab Team Deathmatch as well as Uplink Defender. I always get that mixed up. I always think Defender's the game mode, but Defender's the map, Uplink's the game mode. And those are the only two maps I got to play. For some reason, I didn't get a chance to play Hardpoint, and I didn't get a chance to play Capture the Flag on those other two maps. I saw other people playing it, but I don't know if it was just the pros that were allowed to play it, because I did see some of the pros in there playing the game, kind of warming up. So I don't know if it was just them that were allowed to play it, or if for some reason I just got really unlucky every time I went to go play, but I only got to play Biolab and Defender. So I just want to be clear, in this video I'll mainly be talking about those two maps. I might mention the other maps just based on what I've seen from gameplay, but I want to talk mainly from my experience with these videos. So since I wasn't able to actually capture any gameplay while I was at Gamescom, I don't have any Advanced Warfare gameplay for you, but I will leave links in the description of this video to the various maps, so you guys can go and watch some gameplays on the different maps and see what I'm talking about when I'm talking about these maps. So first, let's cover Biolab. This is the one that we played Team Deathmatch on. I played quite a few games of Team Deathmatch on Biolab, to the point where I was really confident in my skills on the map. I was kind of dominating near the end, because everyone else, it was usually their first playtime through, and it was probably my 12th or 13th playtime through that map. So I found Biolab to be really balanced, and I really like the map design on Biolab. It's kind of a linear map, so there's the set, this is your side, this is my side, but it's also more of a square map. So it's not like a really long rectangular sort of linear map. It is a square-shaped map, square-ish anyways. And there is a set, like this is your side of the map, this is my side, and the flow of the map seems to be more linear. There is a little bit of rotation around the map as well when we're talking about flow, but overall it is quite linear, and I really like that about this map. I also like how it's more or less a pretty clean map. Like, it's not completely flat and level and 100% square edges, but it is a clean map. There isn't a bunch of rubble everywhere, and I really love that in a map. I can't stand all of the ghost maps that have bushes all over the place and little bits of rubble that you can get hung up on, or little places, little nooks and crannies for enemies to hide in. I find it really frustrating. This map is very, very clean, and I like that. It's really easy to see enemies. They definitely pop. Now with this map, and also a lot of the other maps, which I'll talk about a bit later, there's kind of the set inside area, and this is all indoors. You're safe from score streaks, more or less. On the inside areas, and this is in the middle of the map. It's like one big building in the middle, and then there's outside areas that surround this middle area. And I kind of like this map design. It might get a little repetitive because a lot of the other maps that we've seen so far have this exact same sort of feel and this sort of design to it, but I like how it works. You can go in the middle if you want to be playing really close quarters, you want to use a shotgun or an SMG. And if you want to go on the outside, then you'll probably want to be using a sniper rifle or an assault rifle to be most effective. Of course, you can mix it up a little bit. You could take an assault rifle inside without any issues, and you can take an SMG outside without any issues. But it's pretty clear which playstyles are going to be most effective in the different areas of the map, and it adds a lot of variety as well. On this map, I found that I could use any gun. I was really good with a sniper rifle actually on this map. I just stuck to the outside areas of the map, and there's lots of longer lines of sight where there's a lot of traffic that passes through those longer lines of sight as well, so I was able to pick off a lot of kills, and I actually went on some nice streaks with the sniper rifle on this map. But I was also able to use a assault rifle very effectively on the outside areas, and then I played a couple games where I used a shotgun as well as SMGs on the inside areas of the map, and I found it was really nice to get that variety, and it all played very differently. So the outside areas of the map was a completely different pace and flow than the inside areas of the map, and I really, really enjoyed that. Now, the dynamic sort of element on this map are those big explosive, like, test tube things. You'll see them in a lot of the gameplays. If you shoot those, they explode, and anyone in the radius gets killed. And I noticed it is actually quite a large radius. I killed myself once or twice with that, where I saw an enemy and I thought I was far enough away and the enemy was close enough, so I just shot those instead of shooting the enemy. thinking that it would just make for an easy kill. And it was an easy kill. I killed the enemy, but a lot of the times I killed myself as well. So you do have to be really aware of those. And you don't want to be hanging around those things for too long, because you will die if you're pretty well anywhere near them. As for the spawns on this map, the spawns seem to be quite predictable, but not so predictable that I feel that they'll be easy to exploit, at least for Team Deathmatch. Keep in mind, Team Deathmatch, it is usually harder to exploit spawns in Team Deathmatch, but with this, from my experience, I could predict where the enemy was spawning at all times. I always knew sort of the general area of the map that the enemies were spawning in, which made the gameplay a lot nicer, because you always knew where to look for enemies, and it was, I was never worried about, oh, is there an enemy behind me, or am I going to get snuck up on by some enemy that spawned in a weird area? It was never like that for me. I always knew the enemies are going to be spawning in this corner of the map, most likely, so I'll push towards that corner, and then now I know they're going to be spawning somewhere over here. It was really, really easy to predict, and there weren't any crazy spawns that I found on Biolab. Alright, so that's Biolab. Now I want to talk about Defender, which is the map that a lot of you guys probably saw from like the little teaser where the big tidal wave comes in, you're under the Golden Gate Bridge, and we got to play Uplink on this, and that's the new game mode where you have to grab that ball and you have to throw it into the enemy's portal to score points. Now, this map, it is also linear, just like Biolab, but it is more of a rectangular shape to it, so it makes it even more linear. It's really set. You know the enemy team is spawning on one side of the map, and you're spawning on the other side of the map. There's no confusion there, and it plays more of a clashy type play style, so you're trying to push the enemies back, and they're trying to push you back. There isn't a whole lot of flanking that goes on with this map. There are a few little flank routes that you can take that are not really traveled too much, which I like, but it's not overly complex like a lot of the ghost maps, which I also really like. Just like with Biolab, there is sort of that central inside area as well as the outside area surrounding it. It's the same sort of thing. There's like a big building on the inside. It's mostly ideal for SMGs and assault rifles. Shotguns are okay, but it's not really super close quarters on this map. And then there's the outside areas, which are ideal for assault rifles and sniper rifles, but there are lots of ways that you can navigate the outside areas with an SMG to still be successful. So again, we have a lot of variety in gameplay, or at least the potential for a lot of variety in the gameplay. You can use pretty much any weapon on this map and be successful, and I really like that. Now for the dynamic map element on this map, this is something that happens, I believe it's halfway through the map every single time, doesn't matter what game mode you're playing. Halfway through the game, or halfway through the round, a big tidal wave comes in, and it basically kills anybody that's on the ground on that little area of the map. It doesn't cover the whole map or anything like that, doesn't kill everybody. It's actually relatively rare that it kills somebody. You have to be really not paying attention to have it kill you. But I found it to be, I don't know, pretty balanced, easy to avoid, like I said, and it's a nice addition. It adds one more thing you have to think about when you're trying to plan some sort of a strategic push on the map. You'll know that that side of the map's going to be cut off for a few seconds, so now's my time to push this side of the map, or something along those lines. It just adds that little bit of complexity, which I kind of like. It doesn't affect the flow of the game too much, though. Now, for the spawns, this is where there's a bit of an issue. The issue may just be with Uplink, with the game mode itself, and that might be the case, but it also might be partially the map. After probably playing this about 5 or 6 times, I started to notice a lot of patterns with the spawns, and I was able to exploit the spawns a little bit. Once I got into the enemy spawn, if I got myself into a good position, I could kill enemies off of spawn in one point, and then I'd know exactly where they were spawning. I could turn, and within a few seconds, I could get to them again as they were coming off spawns. The same enemies. So there were a few times where I would have the same enemy killed in the kill feed. So I'd kill an enemy, and then I'd turn around and I'd kill that same guy again before anything else in the game happened. Like, it was literally, I shot the guy, and then you look at the kill feed, and I shot the guy again. It was like a duplicate. And that's an issue to me already. I only had a few hours of gameplay time, and I was able to do that. Now imagine what people are going to do when they have weeks to study these spawns, and they have teamwork and coordination. I have a feeling it's going to turn out to be sort of like Blitz. I feel like Like I said, I don't know if it's just this map or uplink, but if it is uplink, I feel like it might just be that spawn killing game mode. It might be really hard to flip spawns. It seemed like it was quite hard to flip spawns out. It seems like they had about 2 or 3 set spawn points on each side, and it was a little bit frustrating because I did deal with it on the other end as well. When the other team was kind of dominating us, and my teammates weren't doing a whole lot, and to be honest, I wasn't doing a whole lot either. There were quite a few times where I got killed within seconds of spawning, and it was clear the enemy knew what they were doing. They knew I was about to spawn there, and they killed me really, really quickly. I will be clear though, with this, I did not see a single enemy spawn in my sights, and I did not spawn into enemy sights. So it's not like the spawns were so bad that people were literally just aiming at me as I spawned. I did have a little bit of a second or two to breathe, I guess, before I was killed off the spawn, but it's still frustrating, and I feel like there's going to be an issue with either this map or with this game mode, but we'll have to wait and see. Alright, so like I said, those are the only 2 maps that I got to play personally, but I can comment on the other maps because I have seen several gameplays and I've been watching a lot of gameplays. I can sort of get a feel for the other maps, and from what I've seen, I'm really, really happy with the map design so far. Most of the maps seem to be very, very clean, and character models seem to pop out quite a bit, and that's one of my biggest complaints with Ghosts, is character models blend in too much, and it's too easy for enemies to hide, and I don't want to be playing a game of hide and seek when I play Call of Duty. I like playing a fast-paced, arcade-style shooter, where you don't have to worry about some guy hiding in a bush that's going to kill you before you can even react to him. I like seeing my enemy, and I feel like they've definitely pushed for this in this game. There's lots of clean lines, not a whole bunch of rubble everywhere, and not a ton of bushes and random corners for people to be hiding in. I also like how they went with sort of mainly a linear design, it seems like. Some maps seem to be a little bit more square, so they might not play quite so linearly. Is linearly a word? I'm not too sure. But either way, I like the overall looks of the flow of the map as well, or the various different maps. They seem to play very, very nicely. There doesn't seem to be too many super powerful positions that are uncounterable. It seems like every position has its counter from what I've seen so far, and I really like that. So I'm really excited for the maps. I'm really excited for this game. The spawns might be an issue for uplink or maybe just on Defender. I'm not too sure, but overall for Team Deathmatch, the spawns seem to play very nicely. There were no cases where I ran into something where I thought I died solely as a result of a bad spawn. I felt the spawns were very, very good. So tell me what you guys think. From the gameplays that you've seen, what is your favorite map that you've seen so far? Or is there one that you feel that you're going to want to play the most? Are there a few maps that maybe you really don't like? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.